Alright. I'm recording this during a stream and I'm probably gonna put it in a video. I'm just going for it. I'm making all my Specters leveled up. So all of these will have damage dealt while snared. That's an important part. I have now fluxed 2 of my Specters. Oh, and then this one's water. We're just gonna do the element right away. This one's gonna be fire, because it totally matters. And then this next one is gonna be my dedicated nature Specter. Alright, and then I need to level them up. Ah, thank you for following, Breezy Drop. So we've got a water, fire, nature, Specter, all do damage dealt snared. And then I'm just gonna level them up. I'm gonna make every single one of these 130, and then I'll go from there. Still going. Alright, that's 130 out of the way. This is gonna be the most amount that I've spent since my Hemlock upgrade. And to be fair, for my Hemlocks, I already had 2 of them that were max perks. So I only actually ended up doing 2 in one go. Alright, 2 Specters done. Their damage varies, of course, because I haven't actually changed any perks yet, but we'll get that done in a second. Alright, so we got them all 130. I think what I'm going to do next is to just go... Well, I guess I can just upgrade their perks at the same time. One thing that's going to drive me nuts is a little bit of OCD, and that's if their crit rating, crit damage doesn't line up on all of them. So to compare to my current schematic, it's crit rating and then it's crit damage at the bottom. This makes no difference at all, but I want them to match. So it looks like crit damage is all the way up there, so it'd be kind of a waste to change that one, but crit rating is down here. So one of them is going to have to flip at some point. I don't think it matters. So I'll just change this one's crit. So we'll do crit rating, crit damage, and then I want all of these to have mag size. And then of course the 5th perk needs to match, so that's going to be damage to slowed and snared. If it looks like I'm wasting a ton of my reperk, it's because I kind of am. However, I saved up all of this reperk specifically for this job, so I knew I was going to be spending this a long time ago. And I'd definitely rather have 3 amazing weapons than a ton of perk up, because what's the point of having perk up if you're not going to actually spend it on anything? So now we can just do crit rating, crit damage, mag size, and yeah, I had to change every single perk on this one. Alright. I made 2x crit rating on one of them. Oh, hell yeah. Out here just making big mistakes. Alright, well that's another 600 reperk down the down the drain. Why not? Alright, so now all their perks match. And now the fun part. Although not really the fun part, but just kind of the wow, I wish they made this easier for you to do in bulk. Although how many people are really doing this stuff in bulk? Alright. Fire Specter is completely done. And if we actually compare it, that should be, if I did things correctly, identical to my energy one. There you are. Crit rating, mag size, crit damage. Except that that one has affliction and the other ones do not. Which is kind of fitting. I have snare on all of my elements and then affliction on my energy. Am I going to have enough blue perk up? That's a good question, because I don't think I do. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. And one more. I am so nervous for, like, no good reason. You know, it's just kind of one of those things when you save up in any game for a really long time. And... What do you mean? Yeah. When you save up for a really long time and then payday finally comes where you just unload all of your perk up and just make it happen. Alright. There it is. There are all 3 Specters. All 3 elements. So I'm going to unfavorite these. So I did the exact same thing with my Hemlocks a while ago because I considered that to be a top tier weapon. I still do, honestly. This is a fantastic weapon. But the Specter is kind of its own animal. So I'm just going to go a little crazy here. Try to scroll down. I'm going to use my other mouse. And let's just craft Fire 1, Energy 1, or Nature 1, and a Water 1. I've already got an Energy 1 crafted. It's right here. So then we can just wait for them to come on in, and then I'll hop in game and try these out. Also, just wanted to throw this in this video. I started using assault ammo recovery because the way that he works is you have a 24% chance to just not fire a bullet. Or I should say, your bullet doesn't consume ammo, which works inside of your magazine. So he effectively, on average, raises your mag size by 24%. And it works really, really well, and I like it a lot. And as you saw, all of these guys have mag size perks on them, so that's 52 by default, and then, you know, add 24% of that to the total, and that's effectively what we're working with here. We're in game, and it occurs to me that this entire video will pretty much be recorded in stream, if I'm not mistaken. But we've got our fire, which pretty much looks, you know, like a fire one would. And we got energy, or nature, I always get those mixed up. And water. Frost. Looks kind of the same. And then just for, you know, benchmark, that's what a normal energy looks like. That's what I've been looking at for a long time. And if you only have one of these, what I would highly recommend keeping it, because energy would be good against everything. However, you'll see the difference in damage here. So this is actually a good test to show the different elements. So fire will do about as much as an energy would. Nature will do a quarter damage because it's going to be bad. And then water should do the most against fire and just obliterate. So from here, it just doesn't really matter what I shoot. Anything's going to melt these guys because this weapon is insane. And that's part of why I upgrade. I mean, that's totally why I upgraded it. Because the Sound Specter is, as I believe it to be, probably the best weapon in the game. One of the best weapons in the game. I am yet, and I'm not saying it is the highest DPS, but I am yet to find one that actually does more damage per second than Specter. These things are just really, really, really strong, and I highly recommend trying it out if you haven't tried the Specter. So now I can just do the full damage water on these, and as you can imagine, it just completely melts. Against the normal zombies, it doesn't matter. All elements do 100% of their normal damage. It doesn't really make a difference. So it doesn't really matter in those cases. Is this a... It is. So, since it doesn't matter, I guess we can just shoot him with anything. Yep, it died about as quick as I thought. It is notable that I am in a 4-player party, but that wouldn't make, you know, any difference. If you're playing in a 4-player party as well, you'll see similar results. Alright, I found some water enemies to shoot. You can see that fire is going to do about a quarter damage, whereas the nature, or the energy... No, nature this time is going to just melt through everything, as it should. Oh, a satisfying sight. Again, very minimal damage, lots and lots of damage. 4 times as much compared to a fire one. And I have these for every element, so I can basically cherry pick whichever Specter I want to use per mission. It's exactly what I did with the Hemlocks, but now I can do it with the Specter. Alright, and finally, we have energy, or... I'm never going to get it right, am I? So, I just wanted to show all 3 of these in their ideal element matchup. So now we got the fire guy just shredding apart all the nature guys, and they are running away scared. So, that's it for the gameplay portion of this. I'll probably close it out in OBS after this. Alright, so that's it. That's pretty much everything I wish I'd done with the Hemlocks. And I've had enough questions about these Hemlocks since their creation to where I'm definitely going to do a Hemlock video, and I'll definitely show off all of these elements in that video as well. It's not really going to be any different from what you've just seen, but this is obviously the second time I've done this, and probably not the last. If there comes another weapon in the future, and I have more opportunity to get more than one schematic of it, you can bet that if I'm infatuated with that gun the way that I was infatuated with these ones, I will likely do the same project. So, as I think I was going to mention this in the video, but I did definitely on stream talk about how a lot of people definitely think this is excessive. I would agree. This is above and beyond. However, if you play the game as much as I do, and you have the willingness to farm up whatever it costs in this video, that much reperk, something like 15,000 if off the top of my head. It was a lot of reperk and a lot of perk up that I specifically saved up for this project. I did the exact same thing when I was getting my Fortnite banner, trying to get all the reperk and perk up necessary for the Hemlocks, because it's an expensive project. And if you play enough, as much as I do, I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it. If you've got a weapon as grade A, top tier like the Sound Specter, like this thing's got good ammo, good fire rate, great crit rating, crit chance. I mean, it's got a base 20, so it goes up to nearly 50%. Great overall DPS. This gets about tripled when you factor in these perks. It's just an awesome weapon all around. Even the reload's good. You don't even need a reload perk at all. I like these weapons a lot, so to have an element to match whatever the mission calls for is great. So I'm really happy I did this. I hope I inspired somebody to go above and beyond and farm up a crap ton for a single weapon, because even though by the time you'll be seeing this video, the military llamas will very likely be gone, if you find a weapon in the future, or if you even have some of these schematics sitting around, fluxing is not that big of a deal depending on who you ask. I think it's worth it, but you know, it's every person's decision for themselves. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and thanks for watching. Oh hey, how about them patrons? Hey, look at that. $5 or more a month gets you on my end screen. Get a nice little outro thanking these guys, because they pledge monthly to support my channel, so they get to have a special spot at the end of my videos and a special spot in my heart.